History is full of battles we think we understand. Blue against gray, brother against brother. But hidden beneath the smoke and blood of the Civil War was something far darker. This was not just a clash of armies, it was the birthplace of weapons so terrifying, so ahead of their time, that they still haunt our world today. Imagine a war where the first submarine drags men into the deep, where the ancestor of the machine gun shreds regiments in seconds, where unseen snipers turn every step into a gamble, and mines lurk like buried nightmares waiting to strike. These weren't just inventions, they were the opening of a Pandora's box that would curse warfare forever. And tonight, we're unlocking that box. What you're about to discover isn't just history. It's the dark blueprint of the wars we're still fighting today. Beneath layers of earth where forgotten battles once raged, and within the dim corridors of military memory, rest weapons so groundbreaking and lethal they refused to vanish with time. These were not merely remnants of America's bloodiest war, but the foundations of the deadliest instruments of modern combat. Tools that bent the rules of warfare and still cast shadows over soldiers today. Picture a gun so merciless it could tear through battalions in minutes, powered not by engines but by a simple hand crank. A submarine so ahead of its age it disappeared into the depths, its crew frozen at their stations, unseen snipers turning combat into a quiet, terrifying game of death. Hidden charges buried like sinister seeds waiting for the unwary, and grenades so volatile they endangered the thrower as much as the target. These were the Civil War's most frightening inventions, overlooked by many, yet their echoes linger in today's arsenals. From the lineage of the Gatling gun-shaping modern machine guns to the terror sown by hidden mines and unseen marksmen, these weapons didn't just fight one war, they cursed every conflict that followed. Stay with us if you dare as we uncover how these dark innovations from the Civil War continue claiming lives even in the 21st century. But first, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss stories like this. Few realize that the first clash beneath the sea unfolded during the Civil War. The Confederacy's HL Hunley earned its place in history as the first submarine to ever sink an enemy ship. This hand-powered vessel, built from iron and stretching nearly 40 feet, demanded 8 men to labor at its central crank, pushing it forward through the waters. Its design was crude but radical, a narrow cylinder of iron fitted with ballast tanks. By filling these tanks, the vessel could dive. By pumping them dry, it could rise again. When it targeted the Union warship USS Housatonic, the Hunley carried a spar torpedo, a long beam tipped with explosives, jutting from its bow. Its mission was clear: disrupt the Union blockade, strangling southern ports. The plan was to creep up underwater, plant the torpedo, then back away before detonation. The Hunley succeeded, sinking the Housatonic on February 17, 1864, marking the first victorious submarine assault in history. But victory turned to disaster. That very night, the Hunley itself vanished beneath the waves, taking its crew with it. The submarine lay hidden for more than a century until it was found in 1995 near Charleston, South Carolina, revealing clues about its design and the crew's final moments. The cause of its sinking is still a mystery. Some believe the blast itself crippled the vessel or stunned the men. Others suggest the pumps failed or that the crew suffocated in the sealed iron chamber. What's certain is that the Hunley never resurfaced, resting with its sailors at their posts, a haunting monument to the risks of invention. Artifacts recovered showed the men died in the midst of their duties, hinting at sudden catastrophe. The Hunley strike was a turning point in naval warfare, proving the potential of undersea weapons, while also exposing their dangers. Early submarines like the Hunley operated with no safety standards, relying entirely on human effort and untested engineering. Its legacy was both a warning and a spark, shaping the path of submarine warfare for generations to come. Just as the Hunley marked a leap beneath the sea, the Gatling gun changed the very nature of battle on land. Created by Dr. Richard J. Gatling, this fearsome device was meant to shrink armies and reduce deaths, but instead became one of the war's deadliest inventions. Unlike the single-shot muskets soldiers carried, the Gatling gun could unleash up to 600 rounds per minute, an almost unimaginable rate for the time, earning its reputation as a terrifying force on the battlefield. The weapon's design was ingenious. Turning a hand crank rotated 6 barrels, each firing in sequence as ammunition fed through. This not only allowed near-constant fire, but also spread heat evenly, sparing the barrels from overheating too quickly. In combat, the Gatling gun was unmatched at holding defensive lines and crushing assaults. Its sight alone could shake enemy morale. Units charging into its relentless stream of bullets often broke, their formations shredded before they could close the distance. Yet despite its power, the weapon's spread was slowed by high costs and resistance from military leaders who clung to tradition. But where it was used, its devastating efficiency proved the future belonged to automated firepower. Mounted on ships and wagons, Gatlings gained mobility and could dominate wide areas from strong positions. Its multi-barrel system set the stage for the machine guns that would come to define modern warfare. Another major innovation of the Civil War came in the form of hand grenades. Early designs were crude iron shells filled with black powder, ignited by hand-lit fuses. Both sides experimented to improve them, with one of the most notable being the Ketchum grenade, invented by William F. Ketchum. This model had a wooden tail that helped it fly straight, ensuring the nose, armed with a detonator, struck the target. But grenades had flaws. A poorly thrown one might fail to explode, or worse, be caught and hurled back by quick-witted enemies. These reliability issues limited their use, but when they did work, grenades were brutal in close combat, sowing panic in trenches and fortress interiors. Their ability to break enemy positions made them valuable despite the risks. Soldiers accepted the dangers, whether misfires, premature explosions, or their own grenades thrown back, because the weapon's disruptive power was undeniable. The war highlighted both their promise and their problems, pushing later innovations like timed fuses and better triggering systems. What began as makeshift explosives grew into refined munitions, and by the 20th century, grenades had become standard infantry weapons used around the globe. Just as grenades evolved, so too did the role of sharpshooters. These skilled marksmen brought a new precision to the battlefield, aided by advances in rifling that gave bullets greater range and accuracy than smoothbore muskets ever could. Among their weapons, the British Whitworth rifle stood out. With hexagonal rifling and custom ammunition, it could hit targets over 1,500 yards away, a nearly unbelievable distance at the time. Sharpshooter teams worked in pairs, one observing wind and range, the other delivering the shot. They concealed themselves in treetops, ruins, or rocky cover, waiting for moments to eliminate officers, gunners, or messengers. Their invisible reach shook morale, forcing commanders to commit resources to flushing them out. The Union's Verdun sharpshooters, led by Hiram Berdan, became legendary. Recruits were tested under grueling standards and went on to play decisive roles in battles like Gettysburg, where their fire disrupted Confederate coordination and morale. But their tactics stirred debate. Many viewed targeted hidden killing as dishonorable, clashing with traditional ideals of open battle. Still, their impact was undeniable, laying the groundwork for modern sniping. The fear they spread, combined with their deadly efficiency, proved their lasting influence on warfare, even if their methods were controversial. Both armies also experimented with weapons that struck from beneath. Landmines. Often built from repurposed artillery shells, these devices were rigged with pressure triggers or tripwires. When stepped on or disturbed, they exploded, tearing apart soldiers, animals, or equipment. Confederates, who called them land torpedoes, planted them on roads and defenses to catch Union troops unawares. Their power lay not only in destruction, but in the fear they spread, slowing advances and buying precious time for the South. General Gabriel J. Rains was a pioneer in deploying them, using mines to fortify weak points and delay attacks. Alongside them, armies revived the ancient caltrop, four-pronged spikes scattered across ground so that one point always faced up, crippling men or horses. Cheap but effective, caltrops disrupted charges and forced caution. Like landmines, they sparked controversy, with critics condemning their hidden, cruel nature. Yet these tools shaped the future of explosive warfare. The need to detect and neutralize mines inspired new techniques, while future wars saw even deadlier designs. Caltrops, too, lived on, updated for modern battlefields. These weapons didn't fade away. They evolved. The Gatling gun's design pulses through every modern machine gun. The Hunley's doomed mission birthed the submarine fleets that now patrol the seas. Those early mines? They multiplied into millions buried worldwide, threatening soldiers and civilians alike. Every time a sniper fires unseen or a grenade rattles a trench, the ghosts of the Civil War whisper again. Was this progress, or a curse we can't undo? These inventions weren't buried with the war. They became the blueprints for how battles are fought to this day. So the question remains, when the next war begins, what forgotten weapons will resurface and what new nightmares will they unleash? The past isn't gone. It waits.